the first obvious question is, for you, the man who pulled the trigger, that fired the bullet that killed Bin Laden, what does 9/11 and the anniversary of 9/11 mean to you personally?
Well, I mean, personally, it's a reminder that there are people out there that want to kill all of us. There must have been 80-plus countries that had people that were killed in the towers. On Flight 93 that went down in Pennsylvania and the Pentagon, that they're out there. They still want to kill us because we don't believe what they believe, and we, as the West, regardless of which side of the aisle we're on, we need to realize that it's an issue, and it's painful for me, but it's one. We got to realize that that's why we're here.
Robert, Susanna Reid here as well, sitting alongside Piers this morning. That moment when you knew that Osama Bin Laden was dead and you were the person responsible for putting an end to him, in the hours and days afterwards, did you feel that that threat was now over and that the world would be a safer place as a result of that action?
No, Susanna, that's not at all what I felt. I remember firing the shots that killed Osama Bin Laden, and is this the worst thing I've ever done or the best thing I've ever done? And I'm actually not sure what the answer is yet. But when we did that, I did realize that the people that wish to do us ill will, there are men and women that will go out there and find the people that are willing to do it.
Robert, I would imagine for many Americans, you're an absolute hero. You're the man that took out Bin Laden as part of that extraordinarily successful mission. There will be lots of other people, of course, who see you as their sworn mortal enemy. I'd imagine you live with, daily threats and so on. How do you live with those two extremes?
Well, yeah, Piers, like I was just saying, is it the worst thing I've ever done, the best thing I've ever done? And I know that there are people out there will want to do me ill will, but I'm not afraid of them. I'm aware of it, and I'd rather know there's a threat than pretend there's not. So I'm not going to live my life with my head in the sand. My children and I will keep doing what we're doing, and we have things in place. We have dogs, we have guns, we have security stuff in place, and it's a shame that we need to live that way, but we will, and we're not afraid of it. We're just aware.
There's a feeling here that ISIS remains the problem. They've been curtailed, but that they've been the main terror threat really to the West for the last few years, and yet behind the scenes, Al-Qaeda have never gone away, and if anything, they appear to be now regrouping in a very dangerous manner, but sort of below the radar.
Well, Al-Qaeda's always been the threat. ISIS, for some reason, they're very, very good with the social media, so they get the headlines. But Al-Qaeda in the background, they're pretty strong still. Hamza bin Laden, Osama bin Laden's son, is there. Ayman al-Zawahiri, even though they realize in Pakistan they shouldn't put their heads up too high because we will crush them. But Al-Qaeda's smart enough to know that ISIS gets the headlines because they want to stab us in the front, but Al-Qaeda will stab us in the backs. And we just as a coalition, every country in the world other than this threat needs to realize that they're out there and they want to hit us simply because we don't believe what their God wants us to believe. And it's a shame. I wish I wasn't there. I wish no one would ever go to war, but they're out there.
Robert, you've been very supportive on social media of President Trump. He's obviously a very divisive figure globally, particularly in America. Half the country seems to love him, half the country detests him. What do you make of the Trump presidency so far?
Well, I've been very, I'm supportive of President Trump, but if you'll notice, I'm supportive of President Obama. And I couldn't help but notice, Piers, that you follow me on social media. Appreciate that. But President Obama was the guy that supported us to go after Captain Phillips from the Somali pirates. My team and I did that. We went after Osama Bin Laden. We did that, and it's not so much I'm a supporter of President Obama or of President Trump. I'm a supporter of the coalition, not just America, which I am a supporter of America, but I'm a supporter of the coalition, which includes the UK, which includes everybody else, includes Germany, because we need to realize that that we need to move forward, not with just bombs and bullets. We need to go forward with education. The realization, like, we might not be right, we might not be wrong, but from an archaic point of view, we shouldn't cut each other's heads off based on something you don't think that God thinks that I should think. And that's, kind of where we're at. And I travel around the world. 99% of the people agree with me, and that's all it is. I mean, we got to get into the 21st century.
Robert, it's always good to talk to you. How will you be spending today, the anniversary of 9/11?
I've got a couple talks to give, and I just want to fly around and talk to a lot of survivors from 9/11, a lot of families, and just the realization that I put out a few tweets tonight saying that it doesn't matter where you are, just give someone a hug, give someone a kiss, because we never know what tomorrow brings. So show some love and enjoy tomorrow.